Hi friends, this is your pal Scott Garibay, and today we are going to talk about Stranger Things Season 5, Episode 1, The Crawl. All right, so let's get into this. Basically, we get to the point where we are discussing... so we get to the part where we're talking about Max. Let's talk about Max Mayfield. So Max is in a coma. This is very bad. But it is, and Lucas is going to see her. There's a lot here. Let's discuss. So, okay. So let's talk about Max Mayfield being in a coma. This is a big deal, and the reason why is the Duffer Brothers show is very interesting. It has something to say. It says, okay, there's a hellmouth in Hawkins, right? There are demons coming out. Hell is literally connected to Hawkins. So who's going to fight this, right? And the answer is, oh, a bunch of high school kids. You're like, well, wait, what about the police? Well, there's one police officer who's also involved, but he doesn't really act like a cop, and he really doesn't use his other cop resources to do this. He runs around with his ex-girlfriend, right? Or the girl that he was attracted to, but they never really solidified their relationship. You're like, okay, it's like, and generally this works, right? They keep like, oh, we beat the Upside Down. We beat the Upside Down with a bunch of teenage kids and one dedicated cop who doesn't use the rest of his team. And you're like, is this working? Why is this happening? What is all this, right? Like, and you know, and generally it works. But here with Max, she out, right? Like, they're like, oh, you know what we should do? We should use Max as bait for Vecna. And you're like, that seems like outrageously dangerous. And then it was, right? Like, she is in a coma. She has not returned to consciousness. She is close to if not brain dead, right? Like, that, all that happened was 11 like just hit her heart, and her heart is literally still beating. All right, that's a big freaking deal, right? And so I love that the Duffer Brothers are like, oh yeah, this isn't always going to work out. If you're fighting like a hellmouth with a bunch of teenage kids, maybe that isn't going to work out perfect, right? Like, now, but what is interesting is I do think the Duffer Brothers are right that you're like, well, you know, shouldn't they be having, you know, other resources fighting all this, you know, fighting these creatures? But one thing that, you know, it's real. I'm very blessed in my neck of the woods. The police are useful. You can call them and they will respond and things will go well. But a lot of communities, people are like, what are the police for? Right? Like, I would never even think about calling them because they're going to show up. They're going to take a report. They're not going to do anything. Nobody's going to return my stolen property. They're not even going to care. And there's a lot of people who are like, oh yeah, no. Like, if they're, and I kind of get it. Like, the Duffer Brothers are like, oh, your police, you know, your local police are not going to do anything about hellmouth. They're not even going to listen to you, right? Like, and this is a major theme in our, like, and I'm really curious where this is going to land, because there's an open discussion in America that our police officers are not doing, our police forces, our local police forces are not doing what we want, right? Like, hey, my bicycle was stolen, right? And they're, yeah, okay, you know, let me take a report. You know, this full report will get filed. Nobody's going to return your bike. Like, nobody's like, oh yeah, you know, we're going to dispatch somebody. But like, in neighborhoods, people are like, I want you to find the bike thief. I want you to find the person who has 50 bikes in their shed, right? Can you do that, right? Like, and generally this kind of stuff is just massively ignored. And I think people are really frustrated with this. And I actually think, you know, the Duffer Brothers have a point that, like, I think we are getting very close to a point where we will systematize vigilantes, right? Like, I think this is one of the reasons why Batman is so popular. People are like, you know what? If the police aren't going to do something, maybe I can do something, you know? And I do think this is an open discussion at this point, which I think is very interesting. All right. Let's talk about Lucas Sinclair, right? So Lucas Sinclair, this is very interesting. So Max was pushing Lucas away, right? So he's showing up. She's just stuck in a bed, not even conscious, but he's coming. He's bringing flowers. He's playing music for her. He's trying to get, when everybody else has forgotten Max, he hasn't, right? He really loves her, and he's, you know, and he's still there. But later, Max actually says, oh yeah, I was pushing him out, right? Like, and this gets interesting because should Lucas Sinclair be dedicated to Max? right? She has treated him like crap, right? Like she has pushed him away. And I think this is very interesting. And because I think a lot of people get in these relationships, and I do think, and frankly, I'm going to say it, and you could come at me, right? Like, I think we're starting to have a discussion that like men and women are not the same, right? Like, I think this is during the Biden era. Oh yeah, I assure you, genders are exactly the same. There's absolutely no difference between them. But this is one of the, I like a lot of the things in the Trump era. I like the discussion that men and women are different, right? Like they have massively different concerns at the level of gender, right? And that this idea of, oh, there's exceptions on both sides. No, like at the 51% level, at the macro level, at the gender level, there are genuinely different, different, there are differences, right? And I think the Duffer Brothers are having that. And one of the things here is, I think a lot of women, actually, we're seeing this online. A lot of women are like, oh, we're going to have our will they, won't they, right? I'm going to be like, oh, I don't like you. I don't, and then you go away, and then you go away, and then you come back. And I don't like you, you go away, and then you come back. Oh, I don't like you, you go away, and then you come back, right? And women are like, I get about 6 or 7 of these. And I think a lot of guys are like, you don't even get 2, right? You tell me to go away, I'm out, done, right? I'm gonna go find somebody who doesn't play games, right? And I think Max is like, we know it. Like, we could already see it coming up. Like, that Max was like, well, I told you to, kick rocks, but you're supposed to keep coming back, right? Like, and you're like, should Lucas even be sitting here? Like, he's growing up. He's getting to the point where he's strong and capable. Does he need to be sitting around, for Max? I don't know. And another thing I think is interesting is I had this exact situation in college. We had this girl broke up with me, I think it was 4 times. And on the 4th, I was like, let's let this one stick. And it worked. I was like, oh my, and she was shocked. Like, she was like, whoa, you're supposed to come back. I get 6 or 7 of these, right? And you're like, nah, you know what? Nowadays, you don't even get 2, right? Like, you tell me to go, I'm going to go, right? Like, and I think it is interesting, just that discussion. Lucas is sticking in, right? He's still sticking around. But honestly, my take, he should let Max go. I don't think she genuinely likes him. I don't think she loves him. I don't think they belong together. I don't ship them, right? Like, it's just, I think Max could go on her own way. Like, it's just, I don't think she genuinely loves him. And I think if they got married, it wouldn't work. I don't know. Like, because her interest in him is not genuine or high enough. Every single word you just heard in this video is my humble opinion. Nothing more, nothing less. The important part is when I get to hear your humble opinion, when you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider subscribing, and have a fetch millennium.